Good morning, everyone. Now I'm just going to go through some of the threads for the silk embroidery. Now, silk embroidery, you can do an awful lot, and you know, you can do just about anything from a flower, leaf, branch, whatever you want to do with them. And they do vary in colour, of course, and there's dozens and dozens and literally dozens of colours that you can get. But you just really need to start off, if you're new to embroidery, you really need to start off with the basic colours. But what I do like about them is they do them in variated colours as well. So I've got a few to this side, and then we've got the blank, the plain colours here. Now, I am going to be showing you different stitches and whatnot as well. I don't know, I've been doing the flowers, as you know, using the ribbons, and I've given you a basic idea of how to do them, and people sometimes make it look more complicated than it actually is. So long as you know how to thread a needle with, let's go back to the ribbons, so long as you know how to thread the needle, which I've shown you several times, and you can use various ribbons, you don't just have to use silk ribbon, you can use any ribbon. But as long as you know how to thread a needle and make that first stitch, you've got, just build the flower you want to build, whether it be a looping, which is tiny little petals, and then you work down from a point down to a, you know, several at the bottom, but they're quite longer loopings. You can vary the colour, like you can do your first lot of stitches and do it in the light purple and then go to the darker purple next door to each one. But there's lots and lots of things that you can do. Now I'm going to share with you the embroidery side of things, because embroidery is, I find it, one, very therapeutic to start with, two, like you say, it can be very colourful, and three, you just have fun. You just have fun. I'm going to show you how to make strawberries. I'm going to show you how to do animals, birds, butterflies. I'm going to show you, you know, ladybirds and things like that. I'm going to share with you how to colour coordinate your petals. So you don't just have one block colour, which is all pink. You can have various shades of pink. You can do the multi, or multi, a lot of people say. And I have a lot of different threads. I've got thousands of threads because I used to do an awful lot of needlework. And lots of greens, because leaves need shading as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start, and I'm going to go through and just show you how to do various leaves to start with. And for that, obviously, I'm going to need, when I can find my little, this is something I started and then took it out, but that doesn't matter because I can still use that. So I've got my little ring here, my embroidery ring hoop, and we're going to start and do something on this one. So I'm going to start off with these two colours, let me just see, a light and dark shade, these two. So I'm just going to pop these out of the way, but you can get them in all different shades, and then the multi ones, and I'm going to be putting some in kits, so you will get so much, so many different ones. And what I'll do is I'll just wrap them, I don't know, we can always wrap them on something like a lollipop stick or something and do so many colours for you, just to kickstart you off. So that's those. I'm just going to move those to one side, and I've got lots of them to go on as kits. So I'm going to use these. Now, they call it embroidery floss. Don't know why, it's just embroidery thread. They have to give things names, don't they? You know what I mean? So I'm going to take mine out of the holder, and I'm going to use the darker one first. They just basically wrap around something and then hooked on together. Now, never use too much at once because you end up with it everywhere, and you really get, you know, when they start, after so long when you've been sewing with threads, it can start to unravel and whatnot. Now, there are threads you can split. This one I don't split unless I need to. I'm just going to take an embroidery needle. I usually wet the end of mine, pinch it between my fingers, and it doesn't work. I still wet it, put it between the fingers, and then try to get it to go through the needle like that. Now, you can double your needle if you want to, but well, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Double the thread, sorry. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Now, we're just going to do a basic, let's just do it and we'll cover this, leaf. So come up one side and I go the full length of the leaf that I want. Now, you can, if it helps you, let me just find a pen. Once you've done that, you can shape your leaf. If that helps, you know, for you to get that shape, that's fine. And remember, they don't have to be perfect at all. But then go to the side of that one, like that, and bring that down, about a centimetre. This is about a 3 centimetre long leaf. And well, you can go down one side, you know, and just go below that stitch. If you miss and you end up with a gap, not a problem. You can just fill that in. So I'm just going on the opposite side. I don't want the pen mark, you see. And I'm only using the central line as a guide. You can shape the leaf, you know, the side of the leaf, this section, however you want it. If you want to make it look like a, you know, a leaf that's got like a wiggly, you know what I mean? Sometimes they've got like a shape to them, particular shape. Well, you can do that. And like I say, if you happen to do what I'm doing at the moment to show you what I mean, I've missed, I can squeeze another one in that section there. So I'm going to come up between those and fill that gap in. So no need to worry about things like that. Now, I know other people will show you different ways. That's fine. I'm showing you what I do to make it as easy as possible for me. So let's just, and you can sew on any, you can embroider on any thread, any fabric. Obviously some are harder than others to do. You see how it's starting to twist now, and so I wouldn't do too big a leaf without having the right amount of thread to get to the end. And like I say, we're going to go over that line. It's just a guide basically to get this as straight, well, it doesn't have to be as straight as possible, but just a guideline. I'm going to start and bring this in. Now, you can do it, look, see? how we sometimes have to pull that. Now I'm going to put my needle back. I haven't put the thread back through my needle because, like I say, it can come off and it can twist. But we're almost done to the bottom. Now there are frames you can buy to put on the table, or you can stand and sit, you know, like a standing frame, and you can sit by it. I used to have one when I used to do tapestries, because I used to love doing tapestries. You see how neat that is? It's quite nice. So all I'm going to do is, and really we're wasting thread doing that, but I like, because you can do it, you can come up this section, go down there, and then go close to that, come up and go back down there, and do it reverse like that all the time, like a but sometimes it's nicer to do it this way, and I'm just going to do that. So now what I'm going to do is do the lighter shade on the other side. Like that. And I wouldn't double your thread unless you have to. So now what we're going to do is go over that line, because I only used it as a guide. I'm going to start from the bottom. I'm going to go back up to the top there. That's a straighter line. And then I'm just going to go in there like that. So I'm actually going over the line now. Oopsie-daisy. Now you see how that's left that gap. So all I do is go back into that and fill that gap in. Like that. And there you go, that's filled that in. So I never ever ever worry about, you know, gaps. And like I say, you can actually shape the leaf however you want it to be. You are in control of the needle, and therefore you can do that wherever you want it. Now, let's just have a look. I'm going to go back over that one to straighten that one out. See how I've shaped that leaf? Now, even though I've done one side the darker green and the other side the lighter green, we're still going to do some variated stitches in between each one. I think I went a bit wide with that one, but I can't really see in this light. I'm just going to go over that, that's fine. That fills that in. Like that. Okay. Now, while I've still got a little bit of thread left in, what I'm going to do is just to go up into a section of the darker green and just put in the odd stitch. Not for any other reason other than it is different. It's not, you know, I'm just doing something to catch the eye. So we do that, and then we go straight through all of that and cut it. I'm going to take hold of a little bit of the green again, the darker green. I only need a small piece. Knot it. And then I'm going to go from the bottom section up through the lighter green and make a stitch in between. So in between the two light ones, I'm going to do a darker one. And not for any other reason other than I can. Like that. And we're just going to take that through some of this stitching at the back. Like that. And there you go, that's one nice neat leaf. But there's lots and lots of ways of doing leaves. So what I'm going to show you now is if you want to do a smaller leaf, if you're doing a flower. So I'm just going to leave this ready. And to do the knot on the end, I hold it with between my finger and thumb, wrap it round and then roll it to the end, and it makes that knot. So I'm just going to leave that there because I do want to do a flower. So I'm taking another needle, and what I'm going to do is let me just find, let's do some French knots. Let's do some French knots, and I'll show you a different leaf that really looks nice with the French knot. That's it. Now you can wrap your needle around, your thread around your needle several times when you're doing a French knot. It's up to you how many times you do it. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, poke that back down next to where you've just brought the thread up from the back. And then hold on to this section while you pull this section through, and that way it doesn't get caught up. And there's your little French knot. So we'll just do like 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. I could have done it twice, but I like to do them about 3 times, to be honest, to get a decent sized knot. So again, hold on to the one that's you're you're not going to pull through, and pull through the opposite side until you've got your little French knot. So then we go 1, 2, 3, pull that up. I'm going to put that this side. You see, like that. I'm just going to cut that because I'm only showing you what to do. Now take your green as though you're doing your little leaf, and in the middle of the French knot, bring your thread up and do about 1 centimetre. Like that. Go to the side of where you brought that up, and go back through the middle. Back through to the tip. Again, bring your needle up. And back through the tip. And then you can do that again on the other side. And do at least 2 to 3 stitches. Like that. So you can make that look like a little leaf there. And then you can do the same on this side. So do your centimetre long line. And then you go back through the side of that one, but through the same tip. Through the side again, but through the tip. Go to the opposite side. Through the tip, the side of that one, through the tip. I'm going to go back through this side and do another one here. Like that, see? And then we're going to do the same on this side. So do your centimetre line on the side of that, through the tip, the side of that, through the tip. And again, if you've end up with a gap like I've just done, you just go between like that and then back through the tip. And then I'm going to go this side, which generally what I do is I only go to the side for the the width I want, and then I fill the gap in. It's really easier for me. Like that. So you've got like a little... Do you remember when we're doing the flowers? When we're making flowers, we make flower fillers. Well, these are great on a project for flower fillers. You just fill them in. So there's that one. So what I'm going to do now is just to cut that. Right, now what I'm going to show you is how to do a petal. Now, this particular petal you're going to need, I just use a little tube. It's a straw. And sewing needle, obviously, embroidery needle. Choose your favourite colour. And I'm going to, this petal you can actually, the more stitches you put onto your tube, which I'll show you how to do in a minute, the bigger the petal. So, but we're going to do 12 stitches at the moment. Now what you do is you go in from the back, and then you put your needle, you know, just a little gap, that's all, just like a little stitch. Push the needle in as much as you can, and then you attach the tube to the needle. You do need quite a lot of thread for this. So you take hold of the thread. Now this is what I do. I wrap it round my finger so you can see what I'm doing. Not this end of the needle, the one you've put through. Wrap it round your finger. I pull that with my middle finger back, and I push that, the front of the thread, with my thumb, and you kind of like make a loop. So turn the loop, pop that onto there, and pull that down. Like that. Wrap it round, pull it with your middle finger, push it with your thumb, turn it and put it over the tube. And slowly pull that down. Just keep that still, that tube. Might be easier if I do that. Right, sorry about that. So, put this back in. So like I say, wrap it round your finger, pull it back with your middle finger, push that thread with your thumb, and then lift and put that stitch on there. Oh, that didn't work, did it? I forgot to twist. Wrap, pull, push, twist, and you put that in that. You put the tube into the loop you've just made. So wrap, pull, push, twist, and put that in there. I do that again. Wrap, pull, push, twist it, and put it in there like that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to do a few more. I'm going to do it at 24 will do. So, another 12. 1, no, we don't want to go over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 'Don't matter about that coming out. I can pull that back. So we've got 8, 9, 10, 11, last one is 12. A bit tight for doing that, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so we've 24 on there altogether. Like that. Then what you do is you push your needle right up. Okay. Hold on to the stitches. Pull the tube off. Turn them around. Turn them around. Pull your needle through. See? And you've got that. Just carefully pull that. And you've made a petal. I know it's a bit tricky, but when you get going with them, and I've not really shown it properly because I need a bigger ring. I should be working off a bigger ring, but I've got something on mine at the moment. Okay, so you can pull it as tight as you can, and there you've made yourself a petal. But then what you can do is, we're going to push the needle back through to the back, and you see, so that's like a loose petal. But then you could come up at the back of that and do another one, and then go up the back of that one and do another one, and work your way around until you've done, you know, a nice little flower. So I'm going to just try that again. I'll use a little bit longer thread and show you what I mean. So let's have a look at this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go up, I'd say halfway. So do that again. Do the little stitch, poke. Sorry about that. So again, we're going to do another one. So halfway behind this, I've brought the thread through. I've made a little stitch, and I'm putting the tube on. I'm going to push that right up. Well, pull it back a little bit because I don't want the needle poking me. Take hold of the thread that you've put through, not the one on the end of the needle. And again, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember, you've got to twist it so it goes on and does that. You can't just do that with it because it don't work. So you've got to twist the thread, twist the loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Move them down. 9. Oops. 9. 10. 11. 12. And we need to do another 12. You could do just 12 if you wanted to. 1. Oops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got that, right? Then what we do is we hold on to those, just push your thumb on there, pull this out, turn this around. I'm going to do it that way. Just push that underneath like that. Pull your needle through, and as you're doing it you can arch it round. See? Push and pull. And then I'm just going to put that back into the middle, and straight away I've done another petal. See? So I'm going to do one more to make that flower. So I'm going to pull the last one forward and halfway put the needle. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this right. Make your stitch. I'll do it as much as I can. I'm going to cut mine, I think. Then it's not too big. That's better. Right. Oh, see. Pull that back a little bit, that's it. Just push that down. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Is this what you've got to pay for?
Hang on. 9. And then I'm just going to cast that off. They're not perfect, but at the end, I mean, I'm rushing this, and I really shouldn't, because needlework is very therapeutic and should not be rushed. I'm really trying to get this sorted so you can see. So there's 3 petals and they look really pretty. And what I'm going to do is do a bright yellow middle. And we'll do the French knot. But look out for these kits, because there'll be beads and all sorts with them. Okay, so go up through the middle. I'm going to do my 3 loop, 1, 2, 3, and back down. Hold on to your thread on the left and pull down so it doesn't catch. So that's 1. We'll just do several of these. Oops, a daisy. You can do as many of these knots as you want. That really doesn't matter. See, like that. I think we'll just have one more here. So you can just have them like that, and then you can just spread your little petals out however you want them to be, and you've done like your little 3D flower. Like that. See? Cute. And then we just cut that. But yeah, that's how you do them. I'm just trying to think. Let's have a look what we've got. Oh, the other one is stump work. Now we can do a right. I'm going to do a different leaf, and I'm going to need a pin. So here's my pin. Let me get another needle ready. And we'll use some of this thread. I want to make sure I've got enough. So you can do like a 3D, that's a flat leaf, 2D. We're going to do a 3D leaf. Now the best thing for beginners, for me, would be to do yourself little tester pots like it, little tester mats like this. And it just reminds you of what you can do. So what we're going to do is we'll do it here. I'm just going to put the needle in about that long. Okay, going to bring the needle up at the base, wrap that around the needle and go back down into there. Okay, going to move across wrap the needle around and put it down there. I'm going to move that across. I'll do it this way. Like that. Wrap the needle around and then do that. Now you need odd numbers, because if you have even numbers it doesn't work. So you're going to have odd numbers. Oops. Like that. So it'll be under, over, under, over, under, over. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back up. Let's have a look. To the top there. I'm going to wrap mine round. And then we're going to go under, over, under, over, under. Like that. Work this end. And flatten that. Make sure it's pushed down. So then you're going to go under, over, under, over. Okay. Flatten that. Turn it around. Under, over, under, over, under. Just turn it upside down each time you want to turn it. Pull it. And you like weaving with your needle. Under, over, under, over, under. Under, over, under, over, under. You always start with under, if you know what I mean. Under, over, under, over, under. And just keep going, under, over, under, over. Again, when you're doing petals like this 3D, these are good petal leaves to have underneath. And then I'm just going to go through the back of that to pull that in. See, if I hadn't have anchored mine down, I don't know if I can get, well, let me just snip that. It might come undone. But, see, like that. And then I go through the back. And I have a loose leaf, look. I hope you can see that.